Hold on. I'll test it. Check, check. 1, 2. You see it?
Check 2 1 2 check. Awesome. You're good. You're good, Kemy. Get situated.
All right.
And we'll be good to go. Yes, sir. Welcome, y'all. All right, Brian, we're good.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Awesome, yo.
Oh my. What the hell? Okay.
I'm just waiting on our tech here. He's gonna switch all over to our view for our online audience, and we are ready to rock. Brian, we're waiting on you. Awesome. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to our Bass MasterClass. Y'all, let's just give it up real quick. Let's make some noise, y'all. Y'all made it. We're in the room. We're alive another day. We're thankful, giving God thanks another day. Listen, y'all, I am excited to be here. My name is Joel Reed. I am the executive director here at SoundCheck, and I'm so excited to be here. And joining me is none other than the one and only, the maestro, the incredible bass player himself, Kemy Siala. Let's give it up one more time, y'all, for Kemy in the house. Kemy, how you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. First and foremost, thank you for having me. I appreciate it so much, and I'm just glad to be here, man. I'm excited that you invited me back. I know we did this a while ago.
For real.
I'm just grateful that you invited me again.
Listen, it was like, what? Was that like pre-COVID or
I think
COVID times? Or
it was probably like right after COVID.
Wow. So that's a throwback.
Yeah.
Well, listen, man, we're just so happy to be here. Yo, happy birthday, right?
Oh, thank you.
You're celebrating another year of life, all right?
Thank
Another
you.
trip around the sun. And
Yes,
so,
sir.
listen, we're grateful. We're excited. We're going to jump right in. And so, Kemy, our workshop today is all about grooves and gigs, something that you know a lot about.
Yeah.
And so, yo, I love every time we do a workshop, we love to start with just an introduction, man. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, what's that thing you got in your hand there, man? Like, how'd you get into this bass thing? Like, talk to us, bro. Tell the people.
Cool. So, as some of you may know, my name is Kemy Siala. Excuse me. Born and raised in Toronto.
Awesome.
I'm African Congolese to be specific. And honestly, the way I got started is I come from a musical family.
Right.
My dad used to play bass and drums. My mom used to sing. And my sisters, they sing, play instruments and all that.
Yup.
And so this is when I was, about 4 years old. My dad was getting ready. He was just going over the songs for his Sunday service. This was Saturday night. And I was just playing with pots and pans, whatever, on the floor.
Right.
All that. And then I remember he went to the room to go check on my mom because I think they were getting ready to go out or something like that.
Wow.
And then he put the bass on the couch. And I just remember going on the couch, grabbing the bass. At 4.
Wow.
And playing exactly everything he was playing.
Jeez. Just like that.
Just like that.
Wow, man.
Just
That's
like
incredible,
that.
bro.
So-
That's incredible.
So my parents are like, yo, who's playing? So they come back, they peek, and they see their little 4-year-old son on the couch playing exactly what their dad was playing.
So, like, this is like a God-given talent. Like, you just,
Yep.
you were born with this.
Absolutely.
You woke up one day and just being around music, being around your family, and it got into you.
Absolutely. I tell everyone, like, I didn't choose music. Music chose me.
For real.
Absolutely. Because I had no business being 4 years old and grabbing the bass on the couch.
For real.
You know what I mean? So it's like the fact that I was just drawn to it right there and then I was able to play what my dad was playing.
Incredible, man.
That's only God.
Incredible,
Only.
bro. Incredible story. And listen, like, y'all are in for an experience. Like, anytime you hear Kemy on the bass, I'm telling you, man, it's an experience. It's something you will not forget. And so, Kemy, we're going to jump in. We're going to get you to play something for us. But right before, there's one other question I wanted to ask just real quick. And so you talked about your childhood, coming up with bass, you know, jumping in early, coming up young. Like, when did you really transition, though, like, towards where you are now? Because now you're traveling world stages, you're on tour, you're cutting bass on records, like you're doing this thing as a profession. And so how between 4 and like what, you're in your 20s now, right?
Yeah, in my 20s.
And so like, how did that, talk to us a little bit about that?
So started in church. I've always been playing in church, and at the time, it's like I didn't really think that this is something I could do as a career. Right? I'm just a kid. I'm just a little kid. Enjoy playing music. Enjoy playing bass. And then, the older I got, I would say when I reached the age of 13, That's when funny enough, there was an artist from my church. He was like gigging, he was touring and stuff like that. And I remember he wanted me to start playing for him.
Right.
So in my mind, I'm like, all right, cool. I'm getting to travel, whatever. I didn't think much about the money. I didn't think much of that.
Yeah.
And then I remember he came up to me. He's like, yeah, so this is the date. We're flying this day, boom, boom. This is the pay. Are you okay with it? I'm like,
I'm okay.
I'm 13.
Yeah.
What business do I have making
For
money?
real, yeah.
So obviously, like, I let my parents handle that because
Yeah.
I had no clue. I'll take anything. You know
For
what I mean?
real.
So
Yeah.
So from there, I'm like, yo, I could actually get paid from this.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, let me
That
actually
opened up your mind.
open up completely. So I'm like, you know what? Let me
Incredible.
actually keep on pushing. Let me make a name for myself. Let me make myself familiar so I can start getting more bookings and stuff like that.
Awesome. So like it was just a natural progression from like that young tender age coming up, learning, you said playing in church, get to that first gig, that first opportunity, and then all of a sudden it's like mind blown. Like
Absolutely.
I can actually make money doing this thing.
Yeah.
And talk to us, man, because you've been on like just I know you're a humble dude, man, but talk to us, like what are some of the accomplishments? What are some of the things you have done? Like bass has brought you all over. So talk to us a little bit.
Okay. Like you said, I'm a very humble guy, so I don't really like to talk about what I've done, but obviously I'm always grateful for what I've done.
Awesome.
So 2 years ago, I did my first Vivo video shoot. So it's like a big platform for artists and just get more exposure.
Right.
I did that.
And who was the artist?
Jessie Reyez.
Got you.
She's Toronto based.
Yeah.
She's super great artist. She's always vibes whenever I'm with her.
Awesome.
Did that. I did Tiny Desk with Jessie Reyez.
That's a huge. That's a huge platform.
I would say like once I got the call for that,
Yeah.
I was like, there's no way I'm actually about to go on this platform where I've seen giants among giants just be on.
Right.
So it's like, it was
That was like a
definitely-
moment for you, no?
Absolutely. I almost
For real.
cried.
For real.
Almost
I believe
cried.
you, bro. I believe
Yeah.
you. And you killed it too.
Thank you. Thank you. And another one I did is, another accomplishment is, so two things. It's two in one.
Yeah.
So I play for an American artist named Queen Naija.
Okay.
And, excuse me. And then we went on tour opening up for Mary J Blige.
That's what's up.
So, yeah. So once I remember getting the call for that, I was like,
Wow.
I'm about to do an arena tour.
Jeez.
Opening up for Mary J Blige.
From pots and pans
Yep. To arenas. 19,000, 20,000 people.
Jeez.
It was such a, like, I have so much gratitude for that because it's
For
like,
real.
especially being from Toronto, being from Canada, it's not, what I've been able to accomplish is not a common thing.
Right.
To
For
play,
real.
to be Canadian but play for an American artist, to open
Right.
up for Mary J Blige, to be on
Right.
Tiny Desk.
Right.
You know, so it's like, I definitely just thank God for like giving me that opportunity because it could have been anyone else.
For real.
And I strongly believe it can be anyone else.
Right.
But
Absolutely.
God's like, yeah, you know what? I'm calling you for this.
Awesome, man.
So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, listen, we've heard you speak. Now we're gonna hear you play, man. So I know
Cool.
you got some music for us. So
I do.
why don't we hear it?
Cool. First song is called I'm Blessed by Dewey Powell.
Yes, sir.
And honestly, I chose this song because I'm like, you know what? This masterclass is the day after my birthday.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
just grateful
Yes,
for
sir.
seeing another year. So,
Let's go.
yeah, let's do it.
Gotta let them know. Yo, it's time for all believers to stand together and tell the good news. The good news of who you are and whose you are. Yeah, Andre Krauss said we are not ashamed. Gotta let y'all know. Gotta let y'all know. Come on. Everybody, just clap your hands. Come on. It's alright to move your feet. Yeah. Let me talk to you. When I wake up in the morning like the street, gotta say to myself, I'm blessed. Food on my table, clothes on my back, gotta say to myself, I'm blessed. I may not have what I want, but I got what I need, gotta say to myself, I'm blessed. God's been so good to me, gotta say to myself, I'm blessed. Everybody, come on. Wherever you are right now, stop what you're doing. Put those hands together. Yeah. Come on. Look, I wanna say it again. When I wake up in the morning, life, health, and strength, gotta say to myself, I'm blessed. I want you to know that we are a blessed people and God loves us all. Yeah. So as you travel on your life's journey, keep God at the center, cause he's all you ever need. Yeah. Everybody come on.
I can't repay you for all that you've done for me. I'm blessed. You are my everything. All I need.
Yeah.
I'm blessed. I can't repay you
No.
for all that you've done for me. I'm blessed.
You are all I. Yeah. Said I gotta tell the truth now. Said I gotta tell the truth now. Every second, every minute, every hour of the day, every month, every year, I gotta tell the world that I love the Lord forever and always, and it's because of Him. Ooh, yes I am, 'cause He loves me. If you're not ashamed, help me tell the world. I know. Ha, woo. Ooh. Oh yeah.
Y'all give it up for Kemy. Ladies and gentlemen, the Kemy Siala experience. Y'all, wow, Kemy.
Thank you.
Wow, bro. I don't even know where to start. All right. Did y'all just hear that? Is it just me? All right. Let's do it like this. Kemy, how? How? I have three questions.
Okay.
How?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Oh, wow. Okay.
What? It's like the 5 W's, man. That was an incredible performance.
Thank you.
And just as I was listening to you play, like, just the way you build and the layers, like, man, like, that thing was like a cake, man. You just stacked that thing. You knew when to come in, when to come out. Talk to us a little bit, just your approach. Like, what goes through your mind? Because, like, that's not... Like, that's hardly human.
Honestly, when it comes to my approach, it's basically building a story. You know what I mean? So, for sure, the way I see it is the verses are always going to be played simple. The choruses, first chorus is going to have a bit more than the verse. And then the second verse, that's when I start to free up a bit more. The second chorus is like, okay, we're doing this now.
Yup.
And then the vamp is like, all right, let's go.
We're going for blood.
Let's go. We're going for blood. We're adding all the sauce, all
Yes, sir.
of that. So yeah, it's just gradually building a story because I don't like to give away all the sauce.
Yeah.
Because like there's nothing to expect if you give it
Yeah.
all away. You know what I mean? So-
Listen, like, that was a masterclass in just layers, man. Because, like, even the first groove that you started at, and that's... talk to us a little bit about that, because I know our session today is all about grooves.
Yeah.
And that was, like, the foundation of, like, what you established just now. So talk to us about that.
Listen, as a bass player, obviously there's chops, there's licks, all of
Yup,
that, but it's
yup.
like, yo, groove is super important, especially when it comes to playing with a drummer.
Yup.
Because bass and drums are like this. We all
Yup.
know this, right?
Yup.
And at the end of the day, for me, it's like, yo, I want to make it feel good. So even if it's just playing one note or just pulsing on one note and it feels good, that's all that matters.
stay there.
And then once I have the foundation of the groove, it's like, okay, now I know how to add more. Because, you know, like, you never want to take away from the actual song, from the actual record.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
No, for real, man. And thank you for breaking that down, man. Because, like, I even noticed the groove that you started the song in, it's like you still built on that groove.
Exactly.
Like, even as you were riffing and adding you there,
Exactly.
you still
Went back
to the groove.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
Put
yeah,
a groove, add your little sauce, go right back.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
Y'all getting this? Listen, he's breaking it down, man. Jumping in and out. So, and talk to us a little bit about bass, because, man, like what do you got? What do you have in your hands there? Like,
So,
talk to us about that.
right now I have a Marcus Miller Sire M2.
Okay.
This has, everyone that knows me, this has been has been my baby since I've gotten it.
For real, for
Right.
real.
So yeah. So this is what I have. I use Alexa strings.
Okay.
And honestly, my favorite rig is GK. So
Okay,
this
for
is
real,
literally
all day,
the
eh?
perfect combination.
For real, for real. And talk to us about tone, because like I noticed even in that song that you performed, you started like with a groove, then you went into some slap, and
Yeah.
like tone wise, there were some things that were coming out. So talk to us a little bit about
So when it comes to tone, depending on the playing style, will kind of switch for me.
Okay.
So if I'm playing finger style, I tend to roll back on the highs.
Okay.
Only because I want it to be a bit smoother. And when I do my runs, I want it to sound more singing than more like just very harsh.
Got you. Can you demonstrate
So-
some of that for us?
So let's say I'll just play with the same groove.
Yeah. Yes,
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it's like,
yeah.
but then when I slap, that's when I turn the highs up just to
Okay.
get more. Like I want it to be cutthroat.
Got
like,
you.
Kind of piercing.
Yeah.
But not too much. You know what I mean? So it's like.
Solid, bro.
So you see, like, so there's
Yeah.
there's a difference in terms of clarity and in terms of aggression when it
Yup.
comes to slapping, and then when it's finger style, it's a bit more smoother.
Got
just
you.
to, just to make it, because for me, it's like a lot of guys know this. Like I like to sing on the bass,
Yeah.
and I
yeah,
like
yeah,
it to
yeah.
be smooth.
Right.
So it's
right,
like that's
right,
why
right.
I'll roll back on the highs, just to make it a bit more softer.
Got you, man. No,
Yeah.
that was awesome. And talk to us a little bit about like just pocket, because like even as you replayed that groove, it's almost like the track was playing just now.
Mm.
So like, talk to us about that. Like, how did you develop that?
Honestly, couple things: playing to records, listening to records, and understanding like why a specific section in a song was played that way.
Okay.
Why there was a certain pocket to it.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And also, it just goes back down to like feel good. Once you know something feels good,
Yeah.
you know like you're in that pocket.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I just tend to like, growing up, I was always playing to like drum tracks.
Oh, that's
Just-
where you got it.
Just playing to drum
Got
tracks. So
you.
just trying to stick to the certain pattern I'm playing, whatever, and just making it as clean as pocket as possible
Got
before
you.
I start expanding.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. And so just that idea of almost like mirroring what the drums is doing.
Exactly.
But translating that to the bass.
Exactly.
Wow, man. Incredible,
Yeah.
bro. Yeah, and so I know there's some folks that are in the room right now that may have some questions. And so I just wanted to give a quick pause. Did anyone have a question for Kemy before we move on to the next part? And also, I know there were some folks online. And so if some folks on Zoom as well or on YouTube, if you have a question, let us know right now. Yeah, there's a mic right there, y'all. So just feel free to go for it. Our sound guy got you. Just give him a second.
Which one is it, the mic? Which one is the mic?
You guys hear
that
me?
one,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
we got you.
So I noticed, Kemy, you had a lot of chords that you used. Do you want to run us, through some of those chords? Especially like you had a very last chord at the very end of the thing.
This one?
I know you know what I'm talking about. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Do you
a
want to
guitar
work us
thing.
through?
It's a guitar thing. So, speaking of guitars, bro, I listen to a lot of guitar players because I feel like guitar players have chords and endless melodies for days. So it's like, okay, I feel like as a bass player, we're known to play down here, right?
Yup,
Which
yup.
is the foundation, which is great. But then it's like, it's okay to experiment and add what other instruments play.
Right.
So that's why, like you said, like I'll do a lot of chords, but then go back to playing bass.
Got
But
you.
when it comes to chords, how can I put it? One thing about me is I don't know theory.
None.
Oh no,
None.
none.
So
Not
it's, everything is like here and here.
yeah.
For real.
Mhm.
Okay.
I tried going to school for music. That didn't end well for me.
For real.
At all.
For real.
Yeah,
It's
so-
over.
It's over. Yeah, absolutely. Listen, it was so bad. remember when it came down to like exam time,
Yeah.
my teacher would be like, yeah, you need to read this, you need to perform it for your exam.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, cool.
Yep.
Knowing that I wasn't going to read that. So
Yep.
what I did is I got one of my friends that played piano
Yeah.
to play the bass part. I'd record it on my phone
And then you played it.
and go home and memorize it.
For real.
But now where I got caught is when it was test time, I was playing the music right, but my eyes weren't as fast as the music was going.
see.
So it's like I was looking here,
Right.
but I was already at the next section of the
part,
song.
right,
so
right.
she's like, yeah, I know you're not
I know
reading.
you're not reading. Yeah.
I'm like-
she bagged it.
Like, listen, I'm not going to lie to you. I just can't do it.
For real.
So I'm like, yeah, that's not for me.
For real.
Yeah.
But like you've got such a dynamic voice on your instrument, man. I don't even think it's hurting you at all, bro. So
Appreciate it.
power
Thank
to
you.
you, man. Were there any other questions before we kind of move on for folks?
Oh, you want to see
He's
it?
like, he's like, tell me what the chord is. Like,
Okay.
like, break it down.
I'm sure you guys understand number systems. So essentially, what the chord is. How do I explain this? Okay, so I'll do.
Sounds like a 4.
It's a 4. It's Is it major 7 out? Is it major 7?
Major.
All right, major. Yep. So I'll do 1, 2, 3, and then with my index I'll go on to 5, and then with my middle finger I'll go on to 4. But in context it's so this note here will always ring as this note rings and as this note rings.
Beautiful.
So yeah, so
Solid, man.
Yeah.
I hope you got it, bro. I hope you got it. All right. Awesome, man. No, it sounds incredible, Kemy. And so, we talked a little bit about chords. You talked a little bit about your voicings and some of the things that you do that make you stand out. But tell me this, Kemy, when you're playing, like, talk about the band context, because I know a lot of what you do is not just like, obviously today it's all about bass.
Yeah.
But talk to me a little bit about like your mindset, like when you're playing with when there's a drummer in the room, when there's a keyboard, much like your track, right? Because in that track there was all kinds of stuff going on.
Yeah.
So talk to me about like what goes through your mind in the context of a band.
So in the context of a band, the first thing I'm always mindful about is listening to everyone. We're all listening to each other, and people need to remember, it's as a bass player, drummer, keyboard player, we're all having a conversation. So for the most part, we can be talking the same language, and then one person starts kind of going out the side of the box, and then the drummer can respond to what the bass player did, and the keyboard player can respond to what the bass player did, and vice versa. But it's just you have to like unconsciously be listening while playing. So it's like obviously don't play and look at the keyboard player, but it's like you could be looking this way, but your art like half your brain is playing what you're playing, and half your brain is paying attention to the keys, paying attention to the drums. So it's like once you hear them do something, you're like, okay, I'm gonna lock in with that. Or you can kind of anticipate where they're going based off their moves, and that just comes with paying attention.
Got you.
You know what I mean? And it's not overplaying. It's like, and then it depends, because sometimes I could do a line where the keyboard player will follow the line, the drummer will follow the line, or I'll do a line, he'll do something that complements the line. He'll do either a cymbal swell or whatever it is that will complement the line.
Right.
So it's either we'll do the same thing or we'll just do something that adds.
That adds to it.
Yeah.
So basically, it's almost like, if I'm not mistaken, it's almost like a team,
Absolutely.
like basketball. Like,
Absolutely,
like
yeah.
Everybody has a different role, and you're just kind of on the bass. You're holding down the low end,
Exactly.
but you're listening and you're in tune with what everything else that's going on.
Yep.
Incredible, bro. Incredible. And so, talk to me about this, because I know like you've been playing for like 20 odd years at this point, right? But like for the beginners that are just trying to like build themselves and find their voice, like find, like obviously they're not gonna sound like you, but how can they sound like them? And how did you go about sounding like you? Because one thing I know about you, Kemy, is like you can listen to Kemy, and even if you're not in the room, like I don't see you, but I heard like a record or something, you're like, that's Kemy play. So how do you develop that?
Okay, cool. So one thing that helped me is listening to different types of music. Because that if you stay fixated on one genre, your brain's only gonna know that one genre.
For real.
So you won't allow yourself to expand. So what I do is I've listened from gospel music, African music, Indian music, country, you name it.
Right.
And all of that helps shape the type of sound you create.
Gotcha.
Right? And then also there's nothing wrong with like copying others.
Mm-hmm.
Now the thing is just take enough information from others,
Mm-hmm.
learn it, and then once you have it in your bag, you're like, okay, how can I make this different?
Right.
You know what I mean?
I feel you. So you're not listening for copying's sake. You're copying until you can kind of
Find your own. Exactly.
Okay, interesting. And so on that note, I'm curious, who are some of the folks that you didn't copy, but like they inspired you and they were kind of like a template for you in a certain sense?
So there's a couple. There's a bass player named Dana Hawkins.
Okay.
Another bass player from Chicago named Donald Alford.
Okay, yes.
This next guy's a fan favorite. Everyone knows him. Matt Ramsey.
Yes, sir.
Like
Okay.
that's a given. Yeah.
Yup.
Him, Thad Johnson, also
Okay,
from Chicago.
Yes, okay.
And I would say those are the four mains. But like, and then honestly, just listening to everyone,
Everybody.
just picking and choosing. Like, oh shoot, like I didn't think someone could do it that way.
True.
Let me try that.
You're right.
And then once I get that, it's like, okay, let me switch one note, or like even like instead of running the whole thing, I could probably legato some notes and then
Right.
do the run, just to make it sound different.
Right. No, got you.
Yeah.
Super solid, bro. And again, you're killing, man. So
Appreciate
thank you. I know you got another song for us.
I do.
Right?
I do.
Is that a Keybass one?
It is a Keybass
All
song.
right, awesome. So maybe there, while you're setting that up,
Cool.
I don't know, is there anyone else that has another question for Kemy that they want as he's setting that up? Any other questions in the room so far? Yeah, go ahead, bro.
My question is, what are your process of like learning songs?
Mm.
Let's say like you're given like 4 or 5 songs and you have like 2 or 3 days to learn it, right?
Yeah.
What is like your process?
That's a great question.
Very great question. So my process is I listen to them over and over as much as I can. So whether I'm driving, whether I'm at the gym, whether I'm at home, just listen to it. So to the point that your mind is kind of already remembering like each section of the song. That's the one thing I do. And then once I sit down and actually play the song, I kind of tell myself, you know what? Every section is a pattern. The verse is a specific pattern. The chorus is a specific pattern. The vamp is a specific pattern. Once you lock in all the patterns over and over and over,
You got the song.
you got the song. That's literally it. The verse could be 1, 5, 6, 4. That's verse. Chorus 1, 3, 2, 4. That's chorus. Vamp
Amazing.
6, 7,
Right.
1, 3, 4. And then once you get that in, it's like, oh shoot, it's really just different numbers placed differently, and that's it.
Wow. Y'all, that's gold what he just shared. Y'all took that in? That's gold. So like so somebody will give you a song and it'll be like 5 minutes or something. But you're not even thinking like, oh shoot, I gotta learn 5 minutes. You're just thinking like there's 3 or 4 patterns. And then that's it.
And that's it.
Automatic. Man,
Absolutely.
that's solid, man. Super solid. So great question. And so Kemy, I see you got the Keybass for us. So you're just multifaceted, man. You got the real bass, the Keybass, everything in between. So yeah, why don't you talk about this next song?
Cool. Next song is actually it's a part of a show that I did with Queen Naija on
Okay,
the Mary J
nice.
Blige tour, and I'm just trying to show you guys, like, especially in this industry, you need both. You need both. You can't just play the bass, because a lot of artists or a lot of MDs will ask, "Yo, can you play key bass?" If you
Right.
can't, you're not
You're
getting the call.
off.
You're off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like I told myself, knowing that what I wanted to do, is like I got to do both. So took the time, learned, got more comfortable, stuff like that. So
Well, we're gonna experience it, man. The Kemy experience again. Let's go.
all right, cool.
Give it up for Kemy, man. The Kemy Siala. I'm still there, bro. I'm sorry, man. That's right there. And family, so let's talk a little bit about Keybass because you said this was something you picked up. So if you're a bass player, like, how are you approaching it? Are you hearing the lines in your head and just kind of letting that come out through the keys? Are you approaching it differently? Talk to us about approach.
I'm not really approaching it too differently.
Okay.
But it is fairly different. It is a different like technique. There's a lot more ghost notes added. There's a lot more like I feel like there's more room to do lines on Keybass than there is on bass.
Right.
Because it's like it's kind of like it's essentially a lead sound, but just lower.
lower.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and when it comes to line, I really just accent whatever the singer's doing.
Right.
Whatever the singer's doing, whatever the guitar player's doing, whatever the keyboard player's
whatever's
doing.
there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So just to make sure I lock in those lines, so I
For
just
real.
follow it.
And then talk to us about like sounds and tones. Like what is that board that you got
So
there? And
this is a Roland Gaia.
okay, bless.
This is a great, I believe it's like a great starter. I've had this for so many years, I forgot I had it.
for real.
Because I've gotten other boards as well.
Yeah.
But no, this is a great starting point. A lot of the sounds are easy to maneuver. The most part, I think the part people need to remember is just when it comes to sound, play with the filter. The cutoff will determine what type of sound you produce and also the waves. So like this is, I'll show you guys. So it's more like a subby type of wave, then still subby,
Yup.
still subby,
Yup.
more subby.
And that's just filter.
Yeah,
Okay, wow. So you're
it's
changing.
so it's between filter and oscillator. I'm changing the
okay.
filter and oscillator.
Got you.
Yeah. So and then also provides sounds like this. Just to be more aggressive,
Yeah.
depending on the type of song you're
Right,
playing.
right.
But yeah, but then you could also merge both of them. Just to make it more heavy
Got you.
and still
got
have
you.
the bite to it. So
No,
yeah.
that's solid.
But yeah, so oscillator and filter are definitely going to be your best friends when it comes to creating patches on synth bass.
Awesome. And so, just for our audience, whether you're here in person or online, did anybody have any more questions for Kemy? Because I know he's gonna transition back to bass, to bass, right? But any questions about Keybass and Kemy? Yeah, go ahead. There's a mic right there, bro.
So like in terms of like the Keybass, like I know like for example like a keyboard player, if they were to play like the synth bass, they will approach it differently. So in terms of like how a bass player approaches Keybass than the keyboard player, you get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. I will say, you know what? So the thing with keyboard players, because this is their instrument, it's easier for them to just go over and just do runs after runs. I feel like us bass players, we mainly start with like actually playing the groove on the synth bass, and then once we feel comfortable to build our flexibility and just add more lines to it, that's when we'll feel the need to add it. But I feel like I've noticed a lot of bass players that play key bass, they're more bass playing focused compared to like keyboard players. It's just because their minds are just endless.
For real.
Keyboard players just have runs for days. So if I gave this a keyboard player right now, like he could outrun me like no tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So so that's the difference.
For real. Question.
Yeah. You seem to be on the road like all the time. Just my question to you is well, for one, what's it like being on the road, and what would be your first advice? What would be your first helpful tip for anyone who's pretty much going down that lane and they're starting out?
Great question.
Very good question. So what the road life is like, it's a lot of like, it's tiring. It could get tiring, but it's fun. Honestly, like I'll give you guys an example with like the Mary J Blige tour I've done. So we'll do one show, and we were opening. So get to the venue, we're chilling for the most part. They're setting up whatever. We do a line check. We go chill, have dinner, and then we perform at like 8:30. Our set's like 20 minutes, and then we're done. And then we go back to the hotel, get ready to drive to the next city overnight. And that was literally every day. Play, leave, drive overnight, next city. Play, leave, drive overnight, next city. So it's like it was cool. It was cool, tiring, but and also it's like it gives you the chance to like interact with other people that you're not familiar with. No, you're technically building a family on a road that you have to be on the road with these people for a great amount of time, like what, 6 weeks, and that was the case for me. So it's like, and I was out of the 4 Canadians, I was a new one in the team. So it's like people didn't really know me,
Right.
so I kind of had to like just see who's who,
Right.
kind of gel between people and just catch a vibe and just understand. Okay, this person's like this person's like that, and stuff like that. So
Yeah. So another part to that question would be is how would you maintain those relationships and how do you form new ones?
So I tell people being a great person plays a big part in keeping relationships and creating relationships.
That's huge.
It's huge because like a lot of people don't realize we're on stage for 20 minutes an hour. Once you're off that stage, you got to be cool with people.
Yeah.
And
for a
if
long
people
time.
can't rock with you, you're getting the boot. Right? So for me, I think my biggest compliment that I've gotten on that tour was the manager came up to me. She's like, you know what? I know you're new to this camp, but you have great energy. You're a great person. You have a great heart. Everyone in the camp loves you. Just keep being you. And I feel like I did my job.
Right.
Because she didn't have to hire me. I
Right.
could have gotten the boot if I wasn't a nice guy.
Right.
But yeah, just always being a great person and just having genuine intent. A lot of people want to be put on, but it's like sometimes just come to the person and be like, yo, I'm a fan.
Right.
And that's it. Keep it pushing. That's it. And just
right.
because the person realizes, yo, you can humbly come to them and say, yo, I'm a fan. Yo, I've been watching you. Be like, yo, thanks, yo, what's your name? Boom, boom, boom.
Right,
Create
right,
conversation. And next thing you know, you guys are exchanging phone numbers.
Right.
You just never know.
So networking.
Networking, absolutely.
For real.
Yeah.
And how much of your journey has been like word of mouth? Like somebody's like, yo, I played with Kemy. Kemy was cool. Kemy's dope on the bass. He's dope as a person. I'm gonna recommend him. How much of your journey has been that?
It's been a lot, most definitely.
Okay.
Especially coming up in the city, people didn't see me play like that. I had videos up, but like it was just videos of me practicing at home, so no one really see me play in real time. But then I was in one gig after another. Boom, boom, boom. My name started to kind of spread around. Like, yo, Kemy, there's this new younger guy on the scene. Like, you should try him out. And then yeah, just word after word after word after word. So I would say that played a part, but also social media.
Oh, talk
So-
to us about that.
social
because
media, yeah.
We're trying to develop, right? Because right now, in this day and age, it's really important. So talk to us about that.
So one thing I was doing during COVID is I would literally just do covers of other musicians' videos.
Okay.
Post it on my story.
Right.
They see it, they repost it, and now their audience is seeing, oh, this guy just did a cover to this guy we know. Let's go over to his page.
Right.
See what he has going on.
Got
And then
you.
boom, now both of you have the same audience.
Got you.
And honestly, that's how I've built my name.
Audience, awesome.
Yeah.
Y'all getting this? This is gold right here, y'all. So we're getting like some of the business side, some of the, the ins and outs of what you do. Sorry, my friend, you have a question. Go ahead.
So Kemy, I've watched you do like multiple live recordings.
Yeah.
In person. You don't make mistakes, bro. No, like, because I've been involved with it, and like I know the other guys have to like overdubs. Kemy doesn't do overdubs.
No overdub.
It makes
Kemy.
no sense. Like 15 songs live same night, no mistakes. How do you do
us
it?
about
Thanks,
that.
man.
Talk to us.
How? Don't thank me. How do you do it?
Bro, honestly, it's just, bro, sitting with the music. Sitting with the music to the point that you feel so comfortable that you won't make any mistakes
Yeah.
is what is the result of, like, me not having to overdub. But I mean, and for me, it's like, any gig, I always give it 110% and make sure I learn the music. So it's like, when it's time for me to free up, I know I'm not second-guessing myself because I know the song.
Right.
It's like, I know where to pick my spots and not making mistakes. Honestly, you say I don't make mistakes. I hear my mistakes, but obviously we have two different perspectives, you know what I mean? But yeah, honestly, just really sinking in the music in your head will definitely make it easier for you not to make mistakes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's an incredible track record, man. 15 tracks. That's a lot, bro.
It is.
And talk to us about retention, because like, how do you retain? Because you mentioned, right, you're all ear.
Yeah.
So talk to us just about that. Like, with so many songs, and yeah, you're learning patterns, but just retention. Like, how do you like internalize? Do you find like listening to the song makes you internalize it more, or playing? I'm curious.
It's a bit of both.
Okay.
Definitely listening and playing. But also what helps me is I have perfect pitch. So it makes it easier to
cheat code. Okay.
it makes it easier to pick up quick
True.
on things. Like yeah, like
True.
it's funny because like even in church services, sometimes I may not know a song. The keyboard player will give me the numbers. After the first pass, it's like okay,
You're
I'm good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because like
yeah,
I
yeah.
realize it's really just 4, 1, 6 or whatever. Or also I just listen to the melody.
Gotcha.
And the melody could kind of tell you where the song is going.
True.
So yeah, so that's how that's how it
Awesome.
works
So
for me.
for those who may not know, perfect pitch is the ability to hear any note and recognize what it is, right?
Yeah.
Without any instrument or anything around you.
Mhm.
Awesome. Does that bug you?
It does.
Yeah. So like
It
even
does.
if you hear like a buzz or something, you'll
Yeah,
like,
it does. And especially like especially if a singer is like pitchy, yeah, it hurts.
Yeah, for real.
It hurts.
For real.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's what's up. And are you one of those color, like pitches and colors go together? No. Okay. All
Nah, man, keep it simple, man.
Okay.
Just keep it simple. Keep it simple.
I got you, brother. Any other questions for Kemy before we move on?
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead, bro.
So I know obviously like the 2 songs you played today,
Mhm.
like the first one you did just bass,
Mhm.
and then the other one was just key bass.
Mhm.
But in real life, you actually switch back and forth
Yes.
mid song.
Yes.
So like, how do you pick your moments? And that's the first one. And 2, like, are there other ways to kind of like emulate like a key bass without the actual key
Yeah.
bass,
Okay.
Great
Cool.
question.
like
yeah.
pedals and stuff?
Yeah. So the first question is, it's really the MD's call. For the most part, I realized some MDs would tell me, yeah, for the chorus, play the bass. For the verse, play synth bass.
Okay.
And now you just gotta get comfortable with it to the point that you could time where it's like you're doing this, and then you're doing this, or you're doing this, you're going straight to it. And at first it's kind of hard because like you want to make sure you don't miss a certain note.
Right.
But then what I do is like if I know the next part is bass playing part, I'll play with one hand as I bring the bass back.
Right.
So when it's time to switch, I could just smoothly transition.
Got you. Did you
Yeah.
have to literally practice that, or did
I had to.
Okay. For
I
real?
had to, yeah,
Yeah,
physically,
yeah, yeah.
because it's like to try it in real time and not getting used to it. It's like you're kind of feeling yourself. You're kind of like setting yourself up for failure.
Got you.
And then your second question is if there's a way to emulate synth bass on bass. There is. You could definitely get pedals, but one thing I do is actually I'll show you guys. So, I've learned this years ago. Basically, I'll play up here to make it more subby. Instead of playing here, because that's when you sound like an actual bass. But yeah, so I'll just play up here. Actually, you'll hear it. The next song, I'll show how I do that.
I know you got another song for us, but as I heard you on that subby thing, just play a little of that like Afro kind of like. I know you have that in you, and like it was just coming out. So just play a little bit of that, yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And because like I know a lot of your sound because you mentioned this, right? Like you said you're Congolese and the music you grew up on and all of that.
Yeah.
Like, do you find yourself incorporating that into what
Absolutely.
So talk to us.
And I had to remind myself that I have that side in my bag.
Okay.
Because at one point I got so fixated on trying to like make sure I have everything else in my bag that every other bass player has. But then it's
Right.
like I told myself like, yo, I'm
You have
Congolese.
something, right.
I have something that a lot of bass players don't have.
Right.
I might as well take advantage and utilize it and just play it in other genres where people are like, whoa,
What is that?
What is that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Awesome, man. Incredible, brother. And so, yeah, I know you got another song for us. And as you're getting set up for that, this was a question that somebody had asked as they were signing up for this class. Oh, this is actually a really good question. Talking about mastering the fretboard. Because when we see you play, it comes out. Like, you're down here, and then all of a sudden you're going up here and back and forth. So how did you get that like mastery of the fretboard? Like and what can people do to help so that they can get that as well?
For me, it's very simple. I used to do major scales but on every note. So I'll start on B, finish on B, and go back down.
Okay.
And just to tell myself, okay, I know all the notes for this scale is right here. I know all the notes for this note is right here. I know the notes for this note is right here. Until it's like I could get to the point where it's like I could play it without looking.
Got you.
There's that.
Can you show? I know it may seem simple, but just a exercise or something that you would do that shows that. you.
And then I'll do that from this first note that I started on and end it
all
on
the
this.
way to B.
All the way
got
to B.
you, got you.
There's that. And also, one thing I've realized, bro, you just have to play. Like, even if when I think about playing ball, to get better, you got to play.
You got to play. There's no
If
way
you want to
around
get
it.
better at shooting, you got to do
gotta
the
shoot.
same form every
Yup.
time.
Right.
Right? So it's repetition.
Right,
With
right.
no repetition, you're not going to get there.
And talk to us about connecting, because I know sometimes you're down here, but then you're able to actually connect the patterns through.
Yeah.
So how did you kind of develop that? You know what I mean?
That's a tough one. Cause man, like I try to tell people when if I'm down here and I make my way back down here, it's just I don't think I just do. You know what I mean? So I just seem to find the right notes to transition myself back to getting down to the lower register. But
Got you.
I just do it.
Got you.
No.
And one thing, I don't know if y'all picked up on this when he was playing the key bass. Like, it was like a moment. Like, he was doing his thing, and then literally halfway through the song, he just stopped. Do y'all remember that? And it was so powerful and impactful because it was like you're picking spots. You're not just playing for playing's sake. You're being so intentional about when you're playing and when you're not playing. Talk to us about that from a bass perspective.
So from a bass perspective, and it's really just a matter of what is needed for each section. So for that section, it was a keys and singer moment. So there's no reason for me to play, so let me fall out. And then once the drummer comes back in, that's when I know it's my cue to come back in. So it's just knowing when to be in, knowing when to be out, just also understanding the structure of the song. You know what I mean? So that helps determine, okay, you know what, I'm going to play throughout this section, or you know what, let me sit out.
See, that's crazy because, like, y'all got to take this in. They're hiring him to play, but they're hiring him not to play. They're hiring him to know when not to play. And, like, that's so crucial and key because, like, sometimes we think, oh, I'm here, I got to be playing every second. And sometimes the most powerful thing you can do in that moment is just not play.
Yeah.
It's
Absolutely.
crazy. It's crazy, man.
Absolutely.
For real. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, I know you got another track for us. We've been talking a bit. Let's hear your next song that you
Cool.
got.
The next song, I'm gonna bring it to the African side. Just,
Yes,
to
let's
show
go.
diversity.
Let's go. Let's
So yeah,
go.
so this is an Afrobeat song, one of my favorite songs. So yeah, let me play it for you guys.
Baby, how fun First off, my baby, they shine from a distance. Anyway, she show me they give chance. I say me they give chance. Say she be Christian. She read for me 2 Corinthians. Make she no fool you. She get that for dance like Egyptian. Oh, give me wine it for me on the low, on the low. I like when your body they do. Baby, come dance for me, man, no get there. I want make them know. Wine it for me on the low, on the low. I like when your body they do. Baby, come dance for me, man, no get there. I want make them know. Sexy Elisa, the way you dey do me, I feel like you mental. Anytime I dey with you, na early December, na early December. Baby, you're the leader. Baby, make we do one thing. I know you are feeling me. Elisa, I don't know. Baby, make we do one thing. I want to
That's how you feel, Kemy. Y'all give it up for Kemy, man. Listen,
thank you.
it's an experience, brother. It's an experience hearing you play, man. Yo, I don't even know where to start, man. Like, again, like you got me. All right, here we go. So talk to us about groove, because it comes back to that. It all comes back to the groove. And it doesn't really matter. Like, you played 3 different songs each time. Fast, slow, Afrobeat, funky, whatever. You're always grooving. So it comes back there. So talk to us about that, because it came through.
So with African music, all my Africans know, man, like, groove is the most important thing. We want to make people dance. Want to make all of that. So like, if you don't have that, yeah, you're not gonna get people dancing. So even with the way I played it, I played it 2 different ways. Actually, I'll say 3. I kind of played it like how it would probably be most commonly played.
Okay.
And then I added a bit more rhythmic movement to it. But then, because I'm Congolese, I added some Congolese flavor to it, just to add some differences to it.
And what would you say the Congolese flavor? Because I noticed somewhere in the song there was a lot coming up.
So with the Congolese style of playing is, I'll show it. So it's like this.
Yes, sir. And then show the more traditional way. Right. Got you.
So now I'm incorporating both, just to give you an experience, give you 2 different type of vibes.
And they both felt good, but they were different.
Exactly.
Awesome. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Any questions for Kemy before we move on, y'all? Yeah, I know we're gonna have some questions after that.
The technique that you use with your
With
thumb and the index.
Yeah.
Like, when do you choose to use that?
So I choose to use it depending on like the section of the song, where I feel like there's more movement, more percussive movement going on in the song. That's when I'll tend to like just to bring that out, so I could also add some percussion on top of what's going on. So yeah, it really just depends the section of the song.
And the thumb with your left hand, is it like the 5th? You're playing like the 5th?
Not even. So in Congolese music, when we use a thumb right here, we're acting as if it's the kick.
Okay.
That's how. Yeah. So I'll show you. Just to make it like lock in with the kick and just make it more percussive. So that's what we use it for.
That's what's up. Yeah. Great question, brother. Any other questions? Awesome. Yeah, we're doing really good here, Kemy. And listen, as I said, every time we get a chance to hear you play, man, it's really a treat. This next question that I had was actually from someone online as well.
Cool.
They said something about, how do you come up with your ideas for your licks and your fills?
I listen to singers. Singers have runs for days. So I'll just listen to what they do, transcribe it on the bass, and maybe just make it different.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I'll show you an example.
Sure.
So I heard a singer do this. So now I'll do that, and then I'll probably do this.
Right.
Just to add some difference to it, because it's like now I know the foundation of the run, but now let me add an extra note or more slurs on the note.
And do you use that idea to transition to different spots, for example?
Yes, I do.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's what's up, y'all. So Kemy's breaking it down for us. And then another thing, and I know we talked a little bit about this, but for people that are really trying to get to that next level in their playing, and gigs are important, because you talked about it. Like, some of it is just playing, right? So how do you get into those, or how do you put yourself in a position where you can play more, especially with others? Because maybe you're practicing by yourself, or you're trying to get out there more. You're trying to, as you said, I didn't know I can get paid for this, right? So like, how do you get more into that, from your opinion?
So one thing I used to do is go out to events, introduce myself to other musicians,
Okay.
let them know like, yo, I'm here.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Right.
you may not know me.
Right.
I'm here. I'm an upcoming bass player.
Right.
Whatever it is. So just to kind of put my name in their head, like, yo, I just met this guy, plays the bass,
Right.
stuff like that. And then maybe if they're not available,
Right.
they remember having that conversation with me. They're like, oh, shoot, I actually know a bass player.
Right.
Boom.
Right.
Let me call
right.
Kemy.
Right. So association.
Absolutely.
For real. Y'all hear
Yeah.
this?
Absolutely.
So it's literally getting outside. Like,
It is. You have to put yourself out there. And that's why, like, obviously social media could be perceived for many different reasons, but I strongly believe like, yo, social media helped me. Like, some people come to my page like, oh shoot, he's done this, he's done that,
Right.
let's use him.
Right.
Oh, like
right,
this
right, right.
person
He's ready.
referred him, let's go to his page, let's check out his work.
Right.
You know, it's kind of like a resume.
Right.
Essentially.
Right. So you basically use it as that, like
I
almost
do.
like a resume.
Like everyone that follows me, they'll see my page. Like I show everything I've done,
Yup.
just to show people like, yo, I've done work.
Right.
I'm working. If you need me, you can hit
Right.
me up. I'm available for different
Right.
things.
So it's from what I'm getting, and y'all, I hope y'all are getting this as well. It's a combination of putting yourself out there, being prepared, but to your point, it's like showcasing what you can do. Because it's one thing to actually say I'm ready, but not really have anything to show for it.
Let me add on top of that. If there's a specific lane you want to go through, you need to show what you can do for that lane.
Okay.
So I know I wanted to do R&B gigs and stuff like
Okay.
that. So let me post videos of me playing Keybass. Let me post videos of me playing R&B music so that can
Got you.
attract
Right.
the type of crowd I want.
Got you.
know what I mean?
Got you.
So, because at the end of the day, like people are looking. They may
Right.
not say anything, but they're watching.
right.
And
right,
I'm
right.
also a firm believer of, like, I post videos at home of me playing at home, but I also post videos of me playing in real time. Because
okay.
it's one thing to post videos of just you playing at home, and then you're like, okay, you're wowing us and all that, but then
and then you come live,
you're like,
it's not there.
you're not there. So that's why for me, like, I like a balance of both. Yeah, show us all the tips and tricks at home, but also show us you in real time, so we know how you think. We know how we know
When it
that.
counts.
Okay, what you're practicing, yo, you're actually you're executing in person.
Right.
That's the way.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Y'all getting this, man? This is secret sauce coming true here, man. So thank you. Any other questions for Kemy before we kind of move on? Yes, go ahead.
Question. So I think you started talking about it. Talk about the difference between growing up in church playing gospel and then going on the road playing R&B.
Okay.
There's a lot of guys, like when they start gigging, they may start off in church and then start getting R&B gigs.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Talk about just the difference between how to play an R&B gig and
Yeah.
a gospel gig.
That's a very good one. So we all know this. You play in church, you can play whatever you want. From when it's time to go on stage, you can play whatever you want, right? But then when it comes to the R&B gigs, you're actually restricted from playing the way you play in church. So now you have to do a mental shift of telling yourself, you know what? I can't play the way I play in church. I literally have to play parts. Some guys are not used to it because all they've known is church, and I don't blame them. I come from church, so it's like I remember the couple first R&B gigs I was doing. I remember kind of like just playing as if I was in church, but then I was told like, "Yo, you actually can't.
You can't do that.
You're taken away from the music. You're taken away from the artist. You know." And when it comes to that world, we're here for the artists. We're not here to showcase us. So if it's me playing one note that feels good, backing up that artist, that's my job, and I'm getting paid for that.
Right.
So it's just you. But I feel like it's also a great training because it teaches you how to play pocket. It teaches you how to play parts. But then the church part also teaches you how to like go for it when it's time to go.
Right.
So that's why I feel like, you know how some people say pockets pay bills. I believe you need both. Pockets pay bills, but also being able to express yourself on your instrument pays bills. Because let's say you get to a gig, the MD is like, yeah, you're gonna be playing parts, but then at this section here, we're gonna break and you're gonna do a run.
Yeah.
Now imagine if you don't have that in
You
your
don't
bag.
have it, yeah.
It's like, oh shoot, let's go find a bass player that has both.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's why I think it's equally important to have the pocket, but also have the extra sauce in your bag. So when it's time to pull it out,
You're
you got it.
Ready to go.
Yeah.
Great response. Thank you for that. Any other questions for Kemy before we move on? If there's someone on Zoom, I know some folks are on Zoom. Feel free to just unmute, and if y'all have any questions on there, I know some folks are joining that way. One of the questions, Kemy, that came in, and actually this is something we didn't really talk about as yet. They said, how do you? Let me see what this says. Oh, sorry. So they're talking about setups. How important is a setup for you in terms of your instrument? So like talk about setups and like, do you have your instrument set up a certain way, or talk about that.
So every bass player is different. My action is fairly low.
Okay.
Only because I like to move around on the bass. Some other bass players it's even lower.
Okay.
Because they're just extremely fast. Or some other bass players it's a bit higher because they like to dig. Right? So it's really a preference. And for me, like when it comes to setups, I get them quarterly because the weather plays up. We all know this weather can actually mess up your instrument. So if you don't take care of it,
right,
it could kind of ruin it. It could shift the neck or whatever it is. So yeah.
And talk to us about that, like on the road and stuff. Do you have two basses with you usually, or?
I do.
Yeah.
So I normally backline a second bass just to be safe if something goes down with this one.
Gotcha.
And it's like I got my backup, and luckily there's also techs that come on the road with us, so they can set up the bass to my liking. So if I need to do a quick switcheroo, I'm straight. I'm comfortable because it's the same type of setup.
Got you.
Yeah.
Nice, awesome. Any other questions on for Kemy before we move on, y'all? Yeah, go ahead, bro.
How do you practice? Like,
good
what
question.
do you do? Are you like a daily practice? Now you're busy. I know it's tough, but like, or how do you start off practicing?
Great question.
So what I do is I'll probably just do an exercise just to warm up my hands. Just warm.
Break it down.
All right. Damn. I found this exercise online. A friend of mine, one of the bass players I named, he posted the video, and he was saying how like it definitely helps with speed, it helps with endurance. So I don't know the name of it. I could tell you the numbers, but so essentially it's in 9/8 timing.
Okay.
So I'll do it slow and then I'll speed up. So now
9, right? Yes, sir. That's it.
So that's
That's it. That's solid.
so I start with that exercise just to get the blood flow in,
Solid.
and when I practice, bro, like I'll just play to songs, but then if I notice a small kink in my playing where it's like, okay, I'm messing up, I keep on messing this up, that's what I work on.
Okay.
So just playing to songs, playing the way I normally play, and then where I mess up, it's like, okay, clearly I've noticed I'm messing up in this area a lot. Let me go over it. Let me tighten it up.
That's solid because like you're basically practicing what you're doing. You're practicing songs.
Yeah.
You don't really practice like you do a little 1-2
Yeah.
exercise, but like you're saying for you, you're learning and playing songs because ultimately that's what you want to do, right?
Absolutely.
So that's huge. And so no, thanks for sharing that and talk to us a little bit more because I know on that whole practice note, sometimes people are saying, oh, like, you know, should I get into this exercise or should I not get into it or whatever the case may be. But like in your opinion, is that just the path to go? Like just kind of block out a lot of the noise, pick a certain amount of songs that you want to learn per week or whatever and go that route, or talk to us.
I'll definitely say like start with the basics, scales. You can never run away from that.
Okay.
But for me, I think once I had that down, I was like, okay, now I just need to play. Because ultimately, the end goal is to play. To be able to play with a band or whatever the case is. So I'll literally play to records and just listen to the bass player and just hear why he's approaching a song a certain way, and then just kind of mimic that. And then I feel like as I was mimicking, I was understanding because you feel it within yourself. Okay, the verse is played like this because it's softer. There's not that much parts going on. The
Uh-huh.
chorus is played like this because everything is much bigger.
Right.
The drummer's playing harder. He's probably on the actual snare instead of the rim shot. So by listening to that, you understand. Okay, yeah, this part is played like this. This part is played like that.
Got you.
Yeah.
Solid, man. Super solid. This next question is, if they put you in a scenario, they said you have one. They said you got signed onto a tour late. You only have one rehearsal and 1 day of practice. What is your strategy to getting the set?
First of all, I'm blocking everything off that day.
Yeah.
Like I'm dedicating my day to that.
Right. Okay.
Cause funny enough, I like to be in last minute situations because I like to show people like, listen, you could throw
anything at me.
at
I'm ready.
me, I'm ready. And that funny thing is that was the case back in November.
Okay.
There was a show going on Saturday. Some people from Chicago, they were coming down and they needed a bass player. I got hit up Thursday morning saying, yo, we need a bass player. Are you down? I'm like, yeah, cool. They sent me the song list. It's about 20 songs, four different acts.
Hold on, Thursday.
It's Thursday.
So you get the songs Thursday.
I got the songs
And when's the
Thursday.
gig?
Saturday.
Okay, let's go.
I
20
had
songs.
20 songs.
All right, let's go.
And I knew myself. I'm like, yo, I know I'm gonna execute.
Yeah.
So throughout the day, I was listening to the music like no tomorrow.
Yeah.
Just repeat, taking mental notes without even touching the instrument.
Wow.
And then when it came down to the gig, I remember they asked me like, yo, like I know we sent you a lot of music. Are you good? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, you're
I'm
solid.
good.
Yeah.
They're like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, I'm straight. I'm good.
Yeah.
And then once they heard me play and actually lock in with them, they're like, bro, they're like, really? Like, you had enough time? I'm like, yeah. I was determined.
Yeah.
You know, I like to show people like, yo, throw me in any situation. I'll make it out.
That's huge, man.
Yeah.
Yo, y'all give it up for Kemy, man. We had a question. Go ahead.
So, my question to you is, obviously you play a lot, but I also know you do a little bit of arranging and just anything else. I mean, I don't know to the scope of abilities of everything you do, but is playing your main focus, or what is your like ultimate goal? Like, what do you see yourself wanting to do besides playing?
I think the ultimate goal is just to wear many different hats in many situations. So obviously play key bass, I play bass. I've gone into programming, I've gone into arranging, I've gone into running playback. And because I understand like, yo, sometimes calls for this might slow down, but calls for arranging might go up, calls for playback might go up. So it's like I'm not losing money. I'm just making money in a different lane.
Right.
So ultimately, it's like, yo, I just want to be called like, oh, you need a playback guy? Call Kemy.
Right.
You need someone to program your show? Call Kemy. You need someone to arrange your show? Call Kemy. You need key bass? Call Kemy. You need bass? That's already 5.
Right. Different streams
Exactly.
of income. Yeah.
So that's the ultimate goal. But for sure, like the big tours, the big festivals, like that's what I'm aiming for. But yeah.
That's what's up. Great question, man.
Yeah.
Great question. Any other questions for Kemy? Yeah? Yeah, go ahead.
So like if you had to, for bass technique, if you had to show bass technique, not bass, slapping technique for a beginner, how would you like show like a beginner how to slap?
Great question.
So honestly, I'll just tell you, go one string at a time. So understand that your thumb is to thump, your index is to essentially pull the string. So I'll just tell you do this. Until you get to a comfortable space where you can start speeding up and then start applying that same technique to actually playing songs. And then you can get a bit more fancy with it where it's like, for me, it's like, once I got comfortable, I started doing stuff like this.
Someone said, "What's that?"
Oh man, it's a combination of like I'm plucking, but at the same time, as I'm plucking, I'm kind of like doing it's a hammer on, a hammer off, like one or the other.
Yeah.
And then
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, man. We got you.
Question. So like when you're slapping bass, do you change the settings? Like
I do. So
Like-
I'll add more highs just to make it more punchy, make it more aggressive. So it's like kind of hurts your ear, but not too much. But like you're like, okay, yo, this is bright.
No, we need to feel the bass.
Yeah, absolutely,
The bass must be heard.
absolutely.
That's what's up. Go ahead, bro.
Hey, Kemy. So, like, how did your practice hours change over the years?
Great.
Because obviously now you're, I guess, busier, so you probably
Yeah.
didn't have that much time to practice. So
Yeah.
I guess you spend much time learning songs now. So, like, how's that changed?
Bro, it's changed a lot. I went from like being able to practice for an hour and a half, 2 hours to now sometimes just touching the bass for 30 minutes, 45, 20. But I strongly believe, bro, like a few minutes is better than none.
Yeah.
So even if you're
yeah.
touching the bass for 5 minutes, but on a daily, that'll get you further than you touching the bass for 0 minutes.
True.
So when people ask me how long is your practice, use whatever amount you can. So even if you only have 20 minutes per day to practice, use that 20 minutes. But obviously use that 20 minutes efficiently, and then just stay consistent with that 20 minutes, and you'll realize you're actually making more progress than if you didn't touch your bass at all. So I say practice based off your schedule, because that's what I'm learning to do now. Yeah.
So that's actually gold, man. Because you said like that 5 minutes over time can really add up,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because sometimes it'll be like, oh, I don't have any time to practice, but it's like, yo, take 5 minutes, take 10 minutes, like,
Literally.
and over a month, what is that? Like a couple hours, right? All of a sudden, right? So
Absolutely.
there you go. Any other questions before we move on? Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, you guys, I came here for
keep it coming,
Kemy.
bro. Listen, that's why we're here, family.
So I remember I was at a gig one time. It got so dark, I couldn't see my fretboard. I had to stay up to put on the lights. And then someone told me that Kemy actually practices with the lights off.
I do.
Interesting.
Is that true?
It is true. Because
Interesting.
for situations like that,
Yeah.
it's like you want to build muscle memory to the point that you don't have to look at your bass. You can turn off all the lights. It's like, I know F is here. I know F is here. I know the high F is here. So yeah, I did that for some time. Just
So
to-
even without looking at your bass, like you know where all the notes are.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
But y'all, like I hear it's actually good that you say that, because like I hear a lot of chatter and stuff, but it's like, yo, you have to know your instrument that well. Like people are asking, how do you play 15 songs in like 3 days? It's like, you know your bass, like
I
you
do.
know the
I do.
bass like inside and out,
Yeah.
right, up and down, right? So that's a great question. Any other questions before we move on? Awesome. All right, so yo, Kemy, this has been a joy, man. Let me say this. Give us just something funky. I know this is kind of putting you on the spot. I know you didn't prepare, but like you got this bass here, man. Play something funky for us. Just because remember, groove and gig. So we know you got the grooves. So give us a groove.
All right. I feel like a couple people know this one. I posted it on my story, but.
Yes, sir. Sounds incredible, bro. Sounds incredible. I know you got an actual song that you're gonna be playing for us. And so while you get ready for that, there was just one question that came in.
Cool.
They said, does he make notes and read while playing? Oh, good question. No notes. No mental only.
Yeah.
There you go, y'all.
I can't read.
There you go. There you go. So no paper, no, like that's it. It's like it's here. When you show up that time when it was Thursday night and you showed up Saturday, no notes.
No notes.
No, of course this, that.
No.
It's just let's go.
Just come prepared. Let's go.
Come
and
prepared.
Execute. Kill.
Let's
That's all.
go. Awesome, y'all. And I love what you're sharing too, because a lot of it is in a mindset. Like you already made up your mind to do that before you
Absolutely.
actually did it.
Yeah.
So you already took the gig knowing like, yo, I'm coming ready. Like no matter
absolutely.
what.
Yeah.
That's huge, man.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I hope you're getting some. Any other questions from folks? All right, awesome. yeah, folks are like, yo, you're amazing. Like,
Thank you.
I can hear it, man. Yo, yeah, I know you got another song that you ready to play. So yeah, let's see.
All right,
hear it.
cool.
Awesome.
Guess you wonder where I've been. I searched to find love within. I came back to let you know. Got a thing for you, and I can't let go. My friends wonder what is wrong with me. But I'm in the daze from your love, you see. I came back to let you know. Got a thing for you, and I can't let go. What they dream of, what you won't do for love. You tried everything, but you don't give up. In my world, only you make me do for love what I would not do. My friends wonder what is wrong with me. Well, I'm in the daze from your love, you see. I came back to let you know. Got a thing for you, and I can't let go. Something best is true. I do for you. What you want to do for love. You tried everything, but you won't give up. In my world, only you make me do for love what I would not do.
We can go home, y'all. We could go home on that note, man. Kemy, jeez, man. Listen, I'm still there. Like, it's crazy, man. Yo, talk to us about the groove, man. For me, like, you did a lot.
Yeah.
You expressed yourself a lot. But for me, the thing that stood out the most was just the groove. Like, it just goes back there. Like, you made the clap sound so good. Like I could have listened to that the whole day.
Yeah.
Like, talk to us about that. Just what was your approach? What was going through your mind? Talk to us.
For me, I think for this song specifically, I was just trying to lock in with the drums. So I'll show you guys. In the
Mission
verse,
accomplished.
in the verse, Let's go. So.
Yes, you wonder where I've been.
So for me as a bass player, I'm gonna do this. So I'm locking in with the drummer and I'm letting the keys do all the movement.
That feels so good, bro.
So that's all.
For real.
Literally, because like, yeah, depending on the drum pattern will determine what type of groove you'll play. So then, so for the verses, I just copy the same kick. And then the next verse, I realized, you know what? There's a bit more space, so I added a bit more movement. So I did.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And now me doing that movement kind of complements what the keyboard player's doing.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're almost it's like a part within a part.
Exactly.
That's incredible, man. Super solid. And like one thing as I was listening, like there was a point where you just said forgo the changes. And I died because it was just like, yeah, when you're grooving that hard, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't. And then when you realize like the same chord structure is the same, that's when you can start throwing subs in. You know what I mean? So that's when I have a habit of like, if a song is moving a certain way, I'll just go 4, 3, 4, 3,
Why not?
or 2, 2, 2, 2, and then go back.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just because I feel like once we've all established, okay, yo, we know the song is like this.
Yup.
Let's spice it up now. Let's add an experience to it. Cause like that. Let's say I was playing this live and I did this change. It could be like oh my gosh, whoa, what's going on type of moment.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Absolutely. And like you plan those moments though.
I do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It has
it's
to feel
very
right.
intentional.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
it has to feel right.
So and like what's your planning process? Cause like I guess obviously you talked about this. Like you listen to the song, you understand it, but then like talk to us about choosing spots, right? Cause like you did it in that song.
Like I said, once you know the song, you know where to take the spots, and you'll know where everyone's out the way. You'll know when the drummer's busy. You'll know when the keyboard player's busy. So it's like, it's a feeling thing, and also just knowing the song. It's like, okay, yo, the verse, there's nothing going on.
Yup.
I could pop in, do my thing,
and come out,
go right back to the groove. And when it comes to the placement, it doesn't have to be like. Right. It doesn't have to be like spot on at the top of the bar.
Right.
You can play the verse. You can play like half of that verse. And then you can throw in something out of nowhere. It's like, okay, people will be like, why'd you do it there? It sounded cool, but like what made you go there? It's like you just you gotta hit them where they don't expect it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes our licks are expected to be on the downbeat.
Right.
It's like, nah, I'm gonna do my lick a bit later on so you don't see it coming.
Right. And I know we didn't really talk as much about this, but I know sometimes you're playing, I think someone else mentioned this, different arrangements and, different sessions or whatever. And so does your approach change when you're tracking bass for a song versus when you're playing live? Or is it more or less the same in terms of your approach?
Honestly, it's more and less the same.
Okay.
Depending on who the producer is. Some producers will tell me, be Kemy, and I'm like, okay, I know what that means. And then some producers would be like, be Kemy, but just tone it back just a bit. And also just depends on the type of song. If it's like a song that's like up tempo, there's a lot going on, they'll be like,
go for it.
Go for it, because we know you know how to choose your spots properly.
You're gonna be tasteful.
Yeah, I'm gonna be tasteful and then go right back to the groove.
Right. So. Awesome. Any other questions, y'all? We're getting ready to go. Yeah, go ahead, y'all.
I talk to this guy a lot. I know that
Listen, that's all right. That's all right, bro.
But he's been going to Chicago a lot as of late. And I personally feel like ever since he came back from Chicago, anytime he goes back, his playing is different.
For real.
So kind of talk about, I'm not saying to compare Toronto to Chicago, but like talk to us about the inspiration you got over there. And yeah.
Good question. Yeah, the music culture, right? Because it's different.
It's so different.
So talk to us.
They eat, breathe, drink, snort music.
Wow.
Like
For
you
real.
see how here like we have other things that we have to take care of. Like,
Yeah.
we got jobs,
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that. But like, them out there, it's music,
Music
all
all
day,
day,
every
every
day.
day.
There's somewhere to play every weekend.
Mm-hmm.
There's a church that's always looking for an extra musician to have, and also like they're very they're aggressive in their playing.
Yeah.
And that's what I had to adapt to when I went down there.
Right.
Cause let's be real. Down here, we're not that aggressive.
Right.
Right. So out there, I went out there. And I'm playing. I'm like, yo, like I'm good. Like
Yeah.
I'm locking in, whatever. And then my boy on drums was like, yo, don't be afraid to dig.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shoot. Okay.
Yeah.
Clearly, I don't play to the same aggressiveness that you guys do.
Right.
So then I was there for 2 weeks, and as every day was going by, I found myself playing harder and harder because I'm like, okay, I understand. Like with these guys, I gotta play a certain way. But now I'm at a place now where I've learned how to turn it on
Turn it off.
and turn it off because it's not everywhere I need to play aggressive.
Got you.
You know what I mean? So
got you.
yeah.
Got you. And so it's reading the room and knowing
Reading the room.
and knowing the call. Right.
Exactly, and also we're just feeding off each other's energy. If I
True.
feel like the drummer is like thumping the drums, it's like,
Yeah.
okay,
Let's go.
let's go. Let me
Yeah.
follow him.
Yeah.
Let me turn up a bit.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah.
And talk to us about like just your setup usually. Like, are you on ears? Are you on like a amp? Does it matter to you?
Depends on the gig.
Yeah.
Sometimes the gig will require for me to be on ears, but no amp. So I'll use a preamp that has also a built-in DI.
Okay.
And just use the EQ on that.
Okay.
Or sometimes there's an amp, or sometimes there's no ears, just straight amp wedges.
Right.
You just gotta adapt to any situation you're in.
Right.
That's all.
Right. Awesome. And I noticed like it's just tone with you. You're not really into the pedals. You're not really into this or that. Or
Listen, there's nothing wrong with pedals.
Yeah.
To each their own. But just for me personally, I like to just give the raw tone that this bass can provide. You know what I mean? So if it's just me being flat on the bass, which is I'm always flat, depending on like if I'm playing African music, I'll turn out the highs, add some lows, slap, I'll either boost up the highs, and then even on my bass head, like the bass, mids, treble is always a half.
Wow.
Because it makes it easier for the engineer at front of house to mix. But then when you know your tone, they'll be like, "Oh, yo, your bass sounds great. I don't need
I
to
don't need to
touch
do
it."
anything.
And that's the greatest compliment the engineer could give you when he
Yeah.
tells you, "Yeah, I don't need to add no compressor, no EQ. I don't need to scoop this, scoop that." It's a compliment.
The experience, bro. I've been telling you. That's what's up, y'all. Any other questions? Yeah, I saw it. No. All right, no worries. All right, so listen, Kemy, it's been a wonderful, wonderful time, and yo, we've just been enjoying. I just want this next part just to hear from some feedback from the audience, because like obviously we've been enjoying Kemy and all of his great playing and all that good stuff, but I just want to make sure everybody's in the room. Are folks finding this helpful? Are y'all getting something from this? All right, so yeah, thank y'all, appreciate you. And so. Real quick, y'all. Before we go, we like to do. Sometimes we do this. It's just really a reflection. It's just some feedback. Sometimes it's great because we hear you cheering, we hear the claps, we hear this and that, but we don't necessarily always have that feedback. And sometimes that feedback is really important because it helps us for the next thing. Right?
Constructive criticism.
There you go. Right. And so just anybody in the room. All right. We'll do it like this. A rose, something today that you're just like, yo, this was dope. Like, this was a rose for me. This was amazing. Like, I learned this, that, or the other. Feel free to share. Anybody. Like, and if you're online, drop it in the chat, whatever. But yeah, just shout out, y'all. Anybody got something from today? Yeah. You may have to hop on the mic just so the folks online can hear you. Sorry, bro. Appreciate you, though. You might as well pass that around
All right,
after.
no
too.
worries.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very honored to hear you play today. Like,
Appreciate it, man.
you're literally the Kobe Bryant of this bass.
Wow.
I just respect like your passion for the music in general, and like salute to you. So
Appreciate you,
for
man.
real. Big
Appreciate
ups,
that for
man.
real,
Big
bro.
ups. Big ups.
Appreciate that.
Any other rose, y'all? Yo, just something you got from this, like a takeaway. Like, yo, this was a rose. Like, this is something dope. Like, this really connected with me. I learned something. You know what I mean? Anything.
Yeah, I got a couple of good takeaways from this one. You dropped some bombs.
For real.
Not only on the bass, but like, yo.
Life, no?
It's like, it got me reflecting. It's like, yo, I gotta step up stuff.
For real.
Thanks,
Big ups, man. Yo, you're inspiring, man.
Thank
That's
you,
huge,
man.
bro.
Thank you.
And
I just gotta add something.
Yes.
One thing I live by this till this day. Always be a student. No matter which level you get at, even if it's at the level I'm at, even if it's higher, even if it's lower, always be a student, because you never know what the other person could teach you.
True.
I'm the type of guy, like, even if there's a guy that could be at the intermediate level, but he does something I've never thought of.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo,
I want to learn that.
show me that.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, there's always, listen, there's so many bass players in this world.
Yeah,
there's
for
bass
real.
players in here.
Yup.
We can all play.
Yup.
But you never want to be that guy that's like, yeah, yo, I'm good, bro. You don't need
Yeah.
to teach me anything. Nah.
Yeah.
I always
yeah,
want to
yeah.
be a student.
And that's why you're still growing to this day.
Absolutely.
Because your mind is open. Like some people be like, yo, I could play like that's
Nah,
it.
bro, you have
Yeah.
16-year-olds, 17-year-olds
Yeah.
killing.
Yeah, for real.
And they're coming up with information that you didn't have.
Yeah.
So why am I going to be a Debbie Downer and not want to learn from those kids? It don't matter. I'm putting my ego to the side because I know what you can teach me could make my
Make me
playing
better.
That's all
That's
that matters.
it. Big ups.
Yeah.
Just any other feedback, y'all in the room? Yeah. Or a question or whatever.
I just want to say you're actually awesome. Like, it's my first time hearing you play still, so you're an inspiration already.
Appreciate it, man.
You reminded me that with great talent comes great discipline. Because honestly, hearing that you learn 20 songs within a couple of days is crazy. Because I go to church and we have to learn songs. And if I get the songs even like a couple of days, it'd only be like 3 songs. I'm upset. Like, it's like, bro, send it to me earlier. So hearing you learn 20 songs, it just reminded me, like,
That's
honestly, if you really want to, you can. Like, so
You can, bro.
thank you for that.
For
course, man.
real.
Appreciate it,
Changing mindsets out here, bro. That's big. Anyone else? Just feedback? Yeah, go ahead.
Feedback and a little bit of a question. So,
Go
like,
ahead.
when it comes to choosing your bass, what do you look for?
That's a good question. I look for a balance. I look for a balance of lows, highs, and mids, where it's like not one is being overcompensated for the other. So it's like it's a smooth balance. So it's like I said, once I plug in my bass and the engineer hears my bass, is like, yo, you're good. There's nothing for me to touch because your bass is just well balanced. A good amount of lows, good amount of highs, good amount of mids. And me personally, I always look for a bass that's bright, only because I want to have control of how bright the bass can get. Because if the bass is not that bright, then I'm fighting for my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
you can
Either I gotta get a
drowned out.
preamp or I gotta add a pedal just to add brightness. But if the bass is already bright, it's like, okay, I could turn it down and it's not that bright. So whenever I want it to be brighter, just turn it back up. So that's what I look for in a bass.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Any other feedback or comments? Yeah, go ahead.
Kemy, I've known you for a little while.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, continue growing. You know, like, you're really killing.
Appreciate it,
so
bro.
you make a lot of people around in the city inspired.
Yeah.
So keep on going.
Appreciate you, man.
There was a question. What would you say for musicians to, like, keep on growing? Because I feel like everyone can feel like they're trapped within their own self when playing music. But, like, you're traveling and whatnot. So what do you get from other people that be like, you take it back and you think, all right, I'm going to grow from this, or I'm going to get better?
Just their thought process of playing a song. Like hearing a friend of mine, a keyboard player in Chicago, just hearing how they approach a song could change your mind on like, okay, whoa, let me now think like him, but on the bass. And that's going to switch the way I think and the way I play. You know what I mean? Even now, because I realize some keyboard players are very like, they're very percussive on their left side. And they do movements that us bass players don't do. So it's like, once I take that in, I'm like, let me try that on bass. Because I don't think like a keyboard player.
Right.
So it's just really picking and be like, okay, you know what? This could switch my mind to altering my playing, and I could add this to my playing and stuff like that. So it's just listening. Listening to others. Absolutely.
So you're getting inspiration from everybody. You're not
Everyone.
just listening for bass players. It's like
Keyboard
everybody.
players, drummers, guitar players, singers.
Right.
You know what I mean? They all bring something different.
So you're a musician.
Yeah.
Not just a bass player.
No.
There we go. Anybody else?
Yeah. Well, first of all, again, Kemy, I think I've only played with you like once, like years ago, and it was like amazing. A good takeaway that I got from this is that as you were talking about your growth and how you kind of got to where you were, social media, word of mouth, and even putting up videos and certain things like that, I realized that for one, like, you got to have a focus and you really got to love what you do. You got to spend time even I'm pretty sure you probably had to even spend time being a little techie when you're putting up videos good for good quality. You gotta, so it's like you really gotta love what you're doing in order to continue to push and put yourself out there, because you never know what videos where they'll land. So that was a takeaway that I got from that was it's very important to understand the why you're doing all of this work, maintaining your equipment. So I'm really thankful for that. Another question I had, which I don't know if anyone touched on, but because you play a lot and you do a lot of gigs and even just other parts in the industry, like you say you do arranging, what about like personal life, family life, friends? How do you find a balance for making time for all of those things?
Great question.
That's a great question. For me, like, family is definitely important. And like, even if I'm busy, like, let's say I'm on the road, I call my sisters, yo, you guys are good, you guys are straight, making sure like, yo, I'm always like, I always want to make sure they're good. And then when I'm home and I know I'm not working, spend time with them, go out for food, or take them out to dinner, go for like an ice cream run, whatever it is. And with friends, like, I feel like with friends it's a lot harder because like we all have our personal lives and stuff like that. But like sometimes me and my boys just go out, catch up. Like we actually have this rule. Like every month we go out to eat and just like we just talk about like, yo, what we want to do in our future. Like just reflect like what we've learned. Like, yo, I need to fix this on myself and blah blah blah. So it's like it's really just a matter of community. You need community, man. You absolutely need community.
That's huge, man. And y'all, for those that may not know, SoundCheck is literally a community for musicians. So we've got Kemy here today. We've got great players that are always coming through. For folks that may be looking for a place just to practice, record, connect with other people, etc. Definitely check out what we got going on. There are Zoom questions. Okay, awesome. Did you have one there?
I think so. I'll unmute it to see.
Yeah, no worries.
I just want to add one thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Even with everything I'm doing, there's one thing you can never forget. God.
Thank you. That's huge.
Never. You can never. Listen, I tell this to people. I would not be where I'm at. I would not be who I am without God. Absolutely. Because at the end of the day, He gave me this gift. He can take it right back if I don't use it with the purpose that He has for me. So that's one thing I tell people. Listen, at the end of the day, put God in the middle of what you're doing. Whether it's music, whether it's arts, or whatever it is. God always has to be there.
Solid, man. Super solid. And sorry, you said there was a question. Yeah, we'll unmute. If you're on Zoom as well or wherever you are, you can unmute yourself. Kemy will be able to hear you still. So, yeah, but there's a camera there, y'all, if you're wondering.
Hey, Kemy, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I got you, bro.
How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Good, man. You sound great, man.
Thanks, man.
Killing it.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I just had a question. I put it in the chat, but I was asking, like, how do you push past that social media barrier? Like, did you ever feel like you were not just good enough for like the social media world? Like you see like Kenneth Diggs doing like some crazy stuff, and like how do you just like get through that?
Understanding that everyone's journey is different. You can't compare. Like they say, comparison is the thief of joy. So if you start comparing yourself, you start telling yourself, oh, why is this person at this level? Why am I not here? Why am I not there? Blah, blah, blah. You will get extremely discouraged. Now, don't get me wrong. Even with me, at some point, I was like, yo, like, I want to do more. But it's not really a matter of me looking at others. It's actually just a matter of looking at myself.
Right.
Seeing what I've done.
Right.
It's like, okay, yo, I've done this. I'm ready to do more. So it's just a self-reflection. But yeah, don't compare yourself, because trust me, that will definitely make you want to put your instrument down. So you can't. You just have to have tunnel vision.
Yo, it's crazy that you mentioned that. Next week we have a session actually all about that. Like we have we're gonna be talking about mental health and like the importance of just having your mind right.
That's a lot.
As a musician specifically, because as people mentioned, like that idea of comparison or you got to be good enough or whatever. There's a difference between motivation and putting yourself down, right? So that's huge, man. Thank you. Appreciate that. If there's any other feedback, and y'all remember, even if it's constructive, like thorns, like yo, remember that idea of a rose? Not the rose has a a nice part, but there's some thorns sometimes. So if there's something where like, yo, this was whack, like y'all gotta fix this, let us know. No, seriously, like we want to improve. All jokes aside, we do want to be better. So if there's some challenges or some things even that we can do better, please let us know so we can do that as well. I know the mic's still going around. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
What's up, Kemy?
What's up, Josh?
This guy's my brother. For real, for real. I would like to say that this guy serves as an inspiration and a motivation to me, like big time. Huge. Last week I was on a flight, and then he was also on a flight. And I'm like, where are you going? Then he told me he's going here and here, and I'm like, I'm going here and there. And he's like, yo, yourself, keep going. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I just want to tell him, yo, keep on going. A lot of people are looking up to you, and on our side, not many musicians make it to that other side, right? Yeah. So what are some advice you can give us, or upcoming musicians or musicians that are still in it or are losing hope? What can you tell them?
Don't feel afraid to collaborate with other musicians. It's like I said, for me, how it started is I was doing covers of other musicians' videos.
Right.
So once they would repost it, their audience would see that I did a cover, and then their audience would come to my page, and then now they're like, okay, yo, let's check out this guy. Yo, he could play, and boom, they just start coming to my page.
That's a secret sauce right there,
It
y'all.
is. Mm-hmm.
We got these tools at our fingertips. We got to use them, right?
Yeah, and also don't feel like you have an ego by reaching out to musicians. That's all right, bro. You're allowed to ask questions. Don't feel afraid to, and because asking could bring you so far, because you can ask questions. The person sees, yo, like this guy actually really wants to work. Maybe I might have a job for her. Maybe like we might be able to work together, and then boom, you never know. Next thing you know, you have another opportunity just based off that.
That's huge, man. Any other feedback, y'all? Yeah, the mic can come around.
Kemy, it's Vince. Honestly, I've been recording with this guy. I've been on the road with this guy. Three of us, myself, Josh, Kemy, done the countless gigs together. And I think with him, I was on the phone with him yesterday even. I'm like, this guy is truly a student of the game, the music game, the bass game. Because even when you call this guy, you hear bass in the background. You hear him slapping. He's doing something.
Right.
And he's just an inspiration to all of us, honestly. So, yo, bro, just keep going. You know what it is already, bro, but just keep going.
That's big, man.
Appreciate it.
Lots of love in the room. Respect, guys.
It's off. Yeah.
We got you, bro.
I would say the only, I guess, feedback that I have is I think you need to bring this guy every year.
Come on.
Yeah, because I think I told you this. Like 2 days before you announced Kemy,
Yeah.
I was actually listening to the last one.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. So I don't want to listen to this for like 5 years.
We gotta bring him back.
Yeah, you gotta bring him back.
Kemy, so we gotta do this again, man.
Most definitely.
Maybe next time with a band or something. We'll try and figure it out.
Yeah.
And I guess a question I have for you is, obviously you said when you started, you had that one gig when you went on tour that you didn't really care about the money.
Yeah.
Obviously things have changed.
Yeah.
How did you make that transition? And like, obviously you don't need to go into extra details, but like, what does it look like on this level?
The work speaks for itself. Right. So once people see, oh, he has this under his belt, he has this under his belt, he has this, he has that, people will recognize, yo, this guy's worth something. He's not cheap. So let's talk to him accordingly. You know what I mean? Because it's one thing to say, yo, I've done this, and you have nothing to show for it.
Right.
But when people see the work you've done, it's like, okay, clearly he's not cheap.
Right.
Let's figure out a budget. And obviously, like for me, it's like I'm not gonna give you like an astronomical budget, but like I'm gonna give you a number that I think is worth all the work I've done.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's how it changed over time.
Awesome.
I wasn't like, now I deserve this. No, I'm not. One thing about me, I'm not money hungry. I told someone like, if our artists stop getting paid, I'd still be playing bass. Like he said, he'll call me.
You're still playing.
I'm still playing for no reason. I don't have to. I'm just
yeah.
playing because I just love it that much.
Yeah, for real. That's passion, man.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think there was another. Yeah, go ahead.
Hi.
Hello.
So I have a couple. I wanted to know when you do an exercise and like you don't have to pay attention anymore, you've already gotten it. what exactly, you probably mentioned this before, but what exactly do you look for when picking a new exercise to like keep you engaged? Are there like core skills you look for, like dexterity, speed, notes, like specific things that no matter where you advance in the exercise, like those things are like most important?
Yeah, absolutely.
Great question.
There's, like you said, there's dexterity, but also finger strengthening. Because I realize my pinky is actually my weakest finger. So I also look for an exercise where it's like, okay, let me focus on like individual strength for every finger so that they could all be at the same, I guess, strength, velocity, whatever it is.
Right.
So different exercises definitely serve different purposes. So if I'm going through one exercise, I'm like, okay, let me move on to another one. That's where I think, okay, what is there that I need to fix? So if I know I need to fix the strength of my pinky, let me focus on an exercise that does that, and then once I'm good, move on to another one. So I'm always picky about like what I need to fix within my playing, and that will determine the exercise I move on to.
So if you're already good with like speed, you're already good with like movement, you'll only isolate exercises for things that you're weak on, like
absolutely.
So you'll find like one exercise that does everything, and then you'll just like isolate another exercise that just like works on weak.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
And he showed the major scale, right? And just moving that up. So like what you showed was you did that really slow, and then you actually sped it up until you got literally up and down.
Absolutely. With speed, metronome is your best friend. Just slowly increase.
Say that again. Hold on. Say that again, because I think that's we cannot end until
the metronome is your best friend. Whether you're playing, whether you're doing exercises, you want to be so locked in with the metronome that you even forget it's there.
Until it starts to feel like a drum set.
Exactly.
For real.
So, but yeah, with exercises, start slow and just increase the speed by 5 or whatever you feel comfortable with until you realize, okay, you know what? I'm speeding up as the metronome is speeding up. Let's just keep on going, keep on going, keep on going.
Awesome. Yeah. And sorry, you were saying, go ahead.
I have another one. I'm kind of shy, so when it comes to networking...
Nah, this is all right. You're doing well.
When it comes to networking, it's something that I have to work on. So I don't know if you've ever been shy, if you've ever known someone who is shy, who was trying to get through like the industry. What is some advice you would give to someone to like try to get in?
You know what? I haven't always been this talkative. So being out, if you have to talk, unfortunately, like you have to be uncomfortable to grow. You know what I mean? But then the more you talk, the more you go out, you realize, like you don't have to force conversation. It's like, hey, my name is this, such and such. It could be short convo, keep it pushing. But obviously the type of environment also plays a part in how comfortable you feel in being social. So I would say like definitely choose certain events that you know what, I think here I could actually easily mingle, I could easily network with people and it won't feel weird. Because that's the last thing you want to feel, especially as a shy person. You don't want to feel like, okay, I'm about to network and it kind of feels weird, like now I don't want to. You know what I mean? So I say definitely pick and choose where you're going to go networking. And funny enough, like there's a specific event that happens, I think, every month. It's called the Listening Room. If you want to go network, go there. Because everyone wants to talk.
Where and when? Tell people just so they can...
They just had set up a D'Angelo event.
Yes.
Missed the tickets so bad, but they have it like I don't know if it's every month or
every
week.
month, every 2 weeks. But
it's really good.
if you're like your new upcoming musician, that is the perfect place to network because they literally give space for newcomers to come and play, show what you got going on, talk to people, and people out there are very like you're finding different type of personalities. Some people are very hyper, some people are quiet, but then it makes it easier because like we're all here for one thing, which is music. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Right. And actually, that was another question I wanted to like add on top of. How do you? Okay, once you get to the networking, you get the gigs, you socialize, and like, you're traveling with these people. How do you deal with like rude people that you have to travel with?
Good question.
You have to pick and choose your battles, and understand that you have to basically have a conversation with yourself and ask yourself, is this worth me potentially starting a fight, me potentially getting fired? If it's not worth it, just turn the other cheek and just keep it pushing. Because on tour, you're definitely learning different people, learning different personalities. Like, okay, this person pops off very quick. Let me watch what I say, or else I know this is gonna turn bad. Or this person is quiet. This person likes to be isolated. Let me leave them alone. So, yeah, sometimes you just gotta turn the other cheek, and then just avoid it. Yeah.
And sorry, last one.
Go
I
ahead.
wanted to know, have you ever experienced any like shady deals when it comes to like booking gigs? Like someone's maybe offering something. I don't know what it would look like, but are there any red flags that you would tell musicians to look out for when someone's trying to book them for a gig?
That's a good one. I would say ask for all the details, and at the same time ask yourself if the gig makes sense. Let's say the gig is in Hamilton, but they want to pay you $100. That $100 is going toward gas. That's dead already. So yeah, little stuff like that. The distance, the amount of songs, the pay also plays a part. But like, you know what, I would say like it also depends on which level you're at. Because I know for me starting out, I was taking anything and everything because I understood I had to make a name for myself. I had to be seen, even if I was getting pennies. I had to be seen in order to get to that place where it's like when people see me, they're like, oh shoot, we got to pay this guy. He comes with a certain work ethic, a certain excellence, and his resume speaks for himself.
So when you started getting to the point where it's like you don't have to accept pennies per se, like you can actually like give them a price and hold them to it. How did you know when to like negotiate, and how did you know when to stand firm on your price and then just like dip?
Just looking at the situation, looking at every angle of the situation and asking myself, does it make sense? If it doesn't make sense, I'd be like, you know what? I don't think this makes sense. I feel like I should get this amount. What do you think? I'm never a type of guy be like, yeah, you know what? Okay, I'm not getting this. I'm not doing it. I'm always about, let's find a happy medium. If I'm giving you this number and you want to meet me here, I'm going to tell you, meet me here. And that way we can work something out. Because at the end of the day, like, yes, the money's important, but at the same time, keeping the relationship is even more important because you never know when that person could call you again, and then next thing you know, it's a A-list artist they're calling you for, and just because you weren't so money hungry, they're like, yeah, you know what, let me call this guy. Because, yeah, once people see you're money hungry, they're like, yeah, we don't want to call this guy anymore. No. And you don't have to be money hungry when people realize your worth. And I think that's why it worked out for me. People see the work I've done. It's like, there's no reason for me to be money hungry because they know, okay, he's done this tour, he's done Tiny Desk, blah, blah, blah. It's like, we know there's an actual worth on this guy. So, yeah.
And I'm so sorry. One last one.
Listen, that's why we're here.
The more the better.
That's why we're here.
You mentioned your favorite artist, and I missed one because I walked in like 30 minutes in. You said Dana Hawkins,
yes.
Matt Ramsey, Thad Johnson?
Thad
Johnson?
Thad Johnson.
Who was the last one?
And Donald Alford.
Donald Alford. And
OG.
what do you like about them?
They're all very different. If I had to pick out their playing, Dana Hawkins is he uses a lot of hammer on, hammer off. And I'm sure you guys notice I do that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I got it from him. Mm-hmm. Matt Ramsey he has just endless
ideas for days, yeah.
Endless melodies for days. It's actually scary. Mm-hmm. Thad Johnson, when it comes to slapping, he's a dog. Mm-hmm. So that's where I kind of gravitated to that. And then Donald Alford, he's just he's gonna throw stuff at you where you're like, whoa, I didn't expect that. Like certain subs and stuff like that, or even chords. Donald Alford is where I get my chords from. So yeah, that's all four of them. They literally serve a different purpose for my playing.
Awesome, that's what's up.
Yeah, I'll let someone else talk.
No, this is great. Thank you.
Yo, Kemy, are you taking mentees right now?
Listen, one thing people that know me, like, yo, I'm always a phone call away, a message away. Like I don't gatekeep any secrets, none of that. Because at the end of the day, like I didn't really have those people that I could hit up and be like, yo, can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? It's like, nah, bro. Like if you have a question, hit me up. DeAndre knows he calls me anytime he needs bass tips. Like anytime. Like I'm not that type of guy.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Any other questions, y'all? All right. Yeah? No, I thought it's all good. We're gonna wrap up. I know you had 4. So y'all let's give it up for Kemy. Let's give it up for Kemy, y'all. So Kemy, we'll figure this out for next time, man. But thank you so much for coming out, for just being so genuine, man, for being so open and honest. And yo, we're just till next time, man.
Absolutely.
Till next time.
Thank you guys
Appreciate
for
you. All
having
right.
me, man.
Thanks everybody for coming, and so we appreciate each and every one of you. Definitely, as I said, tap in to what's going on here at SoundCheck. Every Thursday we have a drop in tomorrow. So if y'all want to come by and just jam out, vibe out with some of the people here, great place to be, and check out all the great things going on as well. All right. Appreciate each and every one of y'all. So thanks so much for coming, and peace and love, everybody. Take care. Blessings.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Hello?